All right, we are just going to talk a little bit about numbers. And we have been working with grouping numbers, and we've also been working with subtracting numbers, and we've also been working with adding numbers. So I wanted to just talk with you, and I want you to grab your whiteboard and follow along about some ways that we can add numbers, and it helps speed up the process when we're using multiples of something, or adding something, or subtracting something. So for example, if I had 8 and I wanted to add 5. So I could either go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or I could think of 5 as 3 and 2. I know 8 and 2 is 10, and then 3 more is 13. Quick and easy, right? But if we move on to a little bit bigger numbers, what if I did 88 and 14? Whoops. That was not my best handwriting. There we go, that's a little better. So if I did 88 and 14. So I could work with dividing 14 into 2 and 12, right? And I could take 88 plus 2, because I know 8 plus 2 is 10, so I could get 90. Then I need to add 12. Well, I know that 90 plus 10 is 100. And then I need to add that 2, right? And I get 102. Instead of going 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, right? That takes a really long time. Another way that you could look at this problem is you could do 88 and 10. That would make 98, right? And you still have that 4. And you could separate this into 2 and 2. You could do 100. Whoops. Plus 2, that's 102. So there's a lot of different ways that you can simplify adding numbers, right? So another one that I wanted to look at is if we're moving into the 100s. So if I had 119 and I wanted to add 26, I could think of it a couple of ways. So I know that 119 and 26, that's kind of hard to add. But if I wanted to add 20, I could do 119, 129, 139, right? And then you could add 6. You could break up the 6 into 1 and 5. You could do 140, because 139 plus 1 is 140, plus 5 is 145. So that's one way that you could break it up. Another way that you could break it up is you could separate 26 into 25 and 1. You could take 119 plus 1, which is 120. You could add 20 and get 140. Then, remember, you still have this 5, so you need to take 140 plus 5, and you get 145. So you need to be patient with these numbers, okay? And just check your work and just slowly go through these problems. All right, because now let's talk about grouping. Let's talk about multiplication for a minute. So a lot of you have been working with multiplication, right? And what if I gave you this fact? Maybe you don't know that right away, maybe you do, but maybe you can think about what you do know in order to help solve this problem. So Miss V knows that 7 times 7 is 49, right? And I'm left with 2 7s, right? Because I need to take 7 9 times. And I know that 7 times 7 is 49, and then plus 2 more 7s is 14. So I could do 49, 59, because 49 plus 10, right, is 59. And then I could add 4, and then get 63. So just think about what you do know and go from there, right? Because maybe you don't know 7 and 7, but you know that you have 9 7s, and I know that 2 7s is 14. I know that 2 more 7s is 14. I know that 2 more 7s is 14, and that's 6. 2 more 7s is 14. 1 more 7 is 7, right? Because I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then I have 28. I have 28. And then I have 7. And then if I add 20 plus 20, that's 40. Plus 8. is 48 plus 8 more is 56, and then 56 plus 7 is 63. Okay? So that's a little bit harder. So that's why it's important to practice your factors so that you know how to easily get to these answers, right? Because when we move into division, and we won't move into that for a while, but when we move into division and I ask you to tell me 7 times what gets me to 56, instead of having to draw out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, instead of having to draw out all those dots, you could think, well, I know that 7 times 7 is 49, and then one more 7 would be 56, right? So that would be 8 7s to get you to 56. So when you're doing multiplication, just think about what you know so you can apply that to what you need to know. Because, for example, if I asked you what 9 times 9 was, well, I know that 9 times 10 is 90. And if I take away 1 9, I get 81, right? And that tells me 9 groups of 9, because I know 9 groups of 10 is 90. So just try and think about that whenever you're multiplying. Like if I threw you a fact and I said 6 times 5. Well, if you know that 5 times 5 is 25, you can add on 1 more 5, right, to get 5 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 5, and you would get 30. All right, so practice that with some of your facts. What I want you to do is I just want you to get your egg carton, and I want you to shuffle up your egg carton, and then when you pull out your numbers, so you have 2 and 12, and 2 and 12 is kind of easy, so you would just do 12 times 2, and that's 24, okay? But I just want you to shuffle up your egg carton, and I want you to practice, and I want you to think about what you know, and that's going to help you get to what you need to know, right? So just practice with your egg carton, set a timer for like 10 minutes, and just practice some of your facts with your egg carton.